predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you believe is going to take the series and be this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing On-Site Gaming. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. He just took down Max Pax 2-1. It is GuMiho. Again, rocking that Psystorm Gaming clan tag, but he is currently a free agent, a teamless player, but a worthy player to pick up. You know, if there's any team owners listening out there, keep your eye out for GuMiho, because damn, is he such a good player. And he just took down Max Pax. Max Pax, who's been on fire recently. Max Pax, who recently won the Pigsty tournament, taking down Maru, taking down Clem, taking down Hero, and GuMiho stops him in his tracks. The Protoss are all dead. Now only Terran and Zerg remain. And here on Altitude, he's crazy. Solar opens up with a pool first. Oh my god. A very safe opener here, and it kind of makes sense. For those who are familiar with GuMiho's TVZ, he's a very aggressive player, very unorthodox, very difficult to read in this matchup, and more than willing to go for a proxy rack. So Solar goes for a safe pool hatch gas opener. With this, he has access to these 6 lings. If there was a proxy, he would be able to shut it down. Now that there isn't, he's going to have to invest and get something done here with these lings. They're going to be rushing across the map, and they're going to look to pick up some SCVs. Ideally, also avoid the Reaper. Speaking of, we don't have an SCV scout coming out from GuMiho because of how large this map is. I don't expect him to go for an SCV scout, and he may even skip the Reaper. If GuMiho is too greedy here, then these things, they can get out of control, as they're going to be avoiding the center path of the map. They're going around the left-hand side instead, avoiding any kind of unit if there was one coming, or do have a Reaper coming out. But again, we're going to be waiting. Solar is going to should be waiting with this Overlord, waiting for the Reaper to reveal itself, and then he goes in. Or he just runs straight in. Oh, there we go. He just goes straight in anyway, in towards the natural. Oh, but the Reaper will come out in time. And there aren't any SCVs to kill either. So yeah, GuMiho, fully prepared for this, is going to fend off the pool first, and he should be safe and sound to saturate his natural. As he did indeed go for that second gas. We have a factory as well, so we should be seeing a bit of an add-on swap, but this is interesting. Okay, so with that additional gas, are we going to be going for Blue Flame? What's the plan here? Oh, mate, this is what I was talking about when it comes to GuMiho being a crazy Terran player here in TVZ. We have Cyclones, sorry, we have Hellions on the way. We have that Tech Lab. No, we cancel the Hellion, actually. We go for the Cyclone instead. Okay. Regardless, we are getting a very, very different opener here. The beginnings of Battle Mech is upon us. From this 1-1-1 into a third CC, so a very aggressive opener overall from GuMiho. Solar hasn't really been able to scout too much. Did see the factory at least, so he knows it's not a 2-1-1 or a 3 racks. So he was able to get that scouting information behind this. He's going to be droning, taking that third base. And we have the add-on swap as well. Is this BC? No, sorry, there's no BC. There's no fusion core. We're going straight for the cloak, but we cancel it. GuMiho, he just keeps switching his things up. There we go, he goes for the cloak. Reveals the Cyclone. Is he going to throw down a Rax behind this? I kind of want him to throw down a Rax. That's his landed Rax coming back home. But for him to reveal the Cyclone, go for a switch like this for Banshees. No, okay, it's a second factory. It is going to be Battle Mech in the end from GuMiho. And Altitude, it's not a bad map for it. He got... Okay. Third factory as well. Ooh. Mech. Lovely. But again, GuMiho has a reputation. He has a reputation, and Solar should be aware of that. We already have a Roach Warren on the way. I mean, the Cyclone is already a massive tell at the start of the game, so he's getting ready for this. Just saturating our natural base, saturating our third. Should soon be going for a fourth as well. And we're throwing down some spores. We're aware of the 111 opener, so even though we haven't seen the starport, even though we haven't seen the tech lab researching, we are getting ready for Banshees. As the first Banshee is revealing itself onto creep, and the queens should be responding. We have 7 queens in total for Solar. He has to be careful. Almost every queen is brought here to the natural, and the third is exposed. The Hellions are going on in. There are Lings here, but not too many. The drones are lining up. There was a lot of potential for damage. He can go for the larva, but there we go. Solar does morph them into eggs, into drones. Oh! GuMiho, he threatens to go back in again. Only forces lost mining time. Good reactions out of Solar, despite, you know, overreacting with his queens. Meanwhile, there we go. Blue Flame and Magfield accelerators are on the way. Embracing the battle mech. 2 more factories. 5 factory production, mate. Ay, off of 3 bases. I do love that the Banshees didn't overextend, despite the fact that we invested into Cloak. They're back here at home defensively. We don't want to throw them away. Solar is prepared with them, with the Queens. He's prepared for the Banshees, and we don't want to, you know, again, throw away any kind of efficient trades that we can have later on, as Banshees are going to be amazing defensively against Roaches. And they can always dip in to deny the 4th base. Until that happens, the Hellions, of course, do have that map control, going to be securing that, cleaning up whatever Lings there are on the map. They get eyes on the 4th base, and even pick up a couple of creep tumors. Not too bad. Meanwhile, Solar is rushing into an infestation pit. I imagine this is going to be for infestors. We can go one of 2 ways. We can either rush into infestors and get pathogen glands, or we can go into a hive and work on adrenal for Lings. Or we can do both. We could do both. We'll see. We shall see, as Solar's just really focusing on securing his 4-base economy more than anything. He's not really moving out. He's not pressuring the third. With that, GuMiho now feels safe enough to move out with his Banshees, and he's going to catch some of these transferring workers. 2, 3, 4. 4 drones go down. Oof. Good trades for GuMiho, and he keeps his Banshees alive. He doesn't take any hits whatsoever. Again, that's why typically when you go for something like this, there's no rush for the Terran to get damage done with the Banshees immediately. You can always find opportunities later on down the line. And there we go. Infestors are on the way. We are rushing into Infestors, which have Fungals to help lock down these Hellions and Cyclones. We've turned up to 77 for Solar, but he has very limited creep on the map. GuMiho has done a great job at just keeping the creep at bay, keeping Solar contained to his 4 bases, barely connecting his own bases with each other. Solar getting ready for a 5th, but GuMiho is getting in position to deny it. Hive is on the way. Oh, and we get a lot of really good lock-ons here from GuMiho. A lot of these Roaches are going to be going down, and the Hellions morph into Hellbats. The Lings are being cleaned up here, and I don't think this is the best trade for Solar. He's going to be losing every single Roach. At the same time, the Banshees dip into the 4th base, and they pick off 5 more workers. This was not the fight to take here. Solar, his Roaches were caught without the support of his Lings, and that was disastrous. And this may just be too much damage. The Queens get cleaned up. Reinforcements are trickling on in. Solar's going to be able to hold on to his 3rd, but the Banshees are going ham. They find even more damage. With the death of those Queens, there's that much less anti-air to keep up with these Banshees. 9 drones go down in total, and the Banshees survive in the dead space, in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Meanwhile, behind this, GuMiho, he takes an economic lead. He's up on 4 bases. He's working on his 5th. And now, after dealing all that damage, he can deny the 5th of Solar. Solar coming in from behind the Fungals. The Fungals will connect, but do we have a follow-up? That's the question. The answer is yes. The Fungals are enough to lock down the Cyclones, and the Roaches get on top of almost every single Cyclone. Very nice trade for Solar. Honestly, a trade that he needed. If it wasn't for that, then Solar would be miles behind. He still is behind. Let's be real here. Solar still is on the back foot, but that was a great kind of step forward here on that road to recovery. Hive is done. We have Vipers on the way, more Infestors as well, relying on our Spellcasters. Oh no, he's going for the Infestor! He gets one! The MVP Banshees. They didn't just get drones, they also sniped those Infestors. Meanwhile, we have Hyperflight Rotors. We still only have one starport, but we are going into Banshee production, and this is terrifying, especially if we do get multiple Banshees being produced at a time. They can dance between the bases and punish the lack of anti-air that Solar has. He only has Queens to defend. Queens and a handful of Spores. Meanwhile, GuMiho gives up on attacking the 5th. He rotates on over to the right-hand side instead. Solar is going to try and keep up. Looks like he's going to be able to get here in time as GuMiho backs off. And GuMiho is double expanding. This is how much control GuMiho has this game. Again, a very limited creep spread, and Solar just has been taking far too many bad fights. We do see him finally moving out here on the right-hand side, trying to get a 6th. Aliens go for away the drones! No! The Hellions come in from the left, from the right. There is no safe zone. Meanwhile, the army of Solar is completely out of position, and GuMiho may even get the hatchery. 10 drones. He's going to be happy with that. He's going to back off. He doesn't want to overextend, which is a wise choice. The creep spread here isn't too bad, and if he did commit to fighting this hatchery, then it's possible that Infestors come in from behind and we get another fungal. So GuMiho respecting the army quite well as he's transitioning out of battle mech into regular mech. Tank production has commenced. 4 tanks being produced at a time. Meanwhile, we get a parasitic bomb on the Banshee. But fighting off of creep is something that we cannot do. Solar rushing into tank fire with an anti-armor missile. It's not what we want to see. No, the Infestors, they're left idle as well. The Infestor count gets reset. The Banshee that was hidden here in the bottom left-hand corner reveals itself once again and gets even more drone kills. The 12-minute Banshee harass. You never see it coming. Ooh, tanks are caught on siege. And here we go. This is the moment for Solar to dive on this army, but there's just too much supply. Too many tanks, too many Cyclones. Solar doesn't have enough army. Bailings are rolling on in. The tanks are on siege. He's going to be able to trade. Not the most efficient trade, but a trade nonetheless. Those 3 tanks I assumed were going to siege, but they didn't. Solar trades with the army of GuMiho. Not an ideal trade, but a trade nonetheless. Oh my god, the Cyclones, they dive on in and they get 2 Vipers. Oh my god. I worry here. Solar, he does have a bank, but he's not even close to being maxed right now. Like, losing these spellcasters is not ideal. Speaking of, the Banshee once again targets down some of the Ravagers. GuMiho backs off, and what are we transitioning into? Tank Ghost. Ghost production has commenced. Tank production continues. Cyclones as well. GuMiho did lose a lot of his army, and mech does take quite some time to rebuild, so Solar has some room to breathe. He's going to be able to focus on saturating his bases, try and respread that creep, rebuild his spellcasters. But the Hellion run-bys are not stopping, and this 3rd base is looking exposed. He goes for the 5th. And there's not much here. The spines are not done. Hellbats are being morphed in. Oh, and a lot of drones are going to be going down. 7 drones in total. Can we get 8? Can we get 9? We'll settle for 8. We'll settle for 8. Great run by here by GuMiho, keeping Solar busy, and here we go. GuMiho. Oh my god, this is so gross. He's establishing himself here on the left-hand side with some missile turrets and sensor towers. Oh, but the tanks are out of position. Solar doesn't want to let this happen. The rocks collapse on top of a tank. You don't see that too often. Solar tries to sneak out of base here on the right-hand side. He's been able to rebuild his army. Ling, Bane, Roach Ravager, Infestor, Viper. Pretty complicated army to control. Solid army nonetheless. We see a Spire behind this, so Solar is going to be looking to transition into Broodlords. when he sees the opportunity. Oh, but here we go. Solar has some momentum right now, but maybe I spoke too soon. Another Hellion run by. Ugh. Isn't going to deal as much damage, but distracts the entire army of Solar. Meanwhile, this gives GuMiho an opening here to clear up this creep, to pressure the 4th, 5th even. Sick. Numbers, as here we go, in comes the army. Vipers do get some great blinding clouds on top of those tanks. We have more of that where that came from, but GuMiho is spread too thin. Solar is going to be able to take this fight in the end. He's running out of Ling Bane, and we have more tanks behind this. Solar has to respect this, and he will back up, but not before losing more infestors. Oof. We got some snipes, and that one Banshee, that one Banshee is going ham. Solar backing off, regathering that energy on those Vipers, regaining that energy even. But GuMiho didn't lose too many tanks there. He lost, I want to say, 4 tanks. It's not going to take him long to rebuild, making 4 tanks at a time, repositioning himself here with the turrets, with the towers. Greater Spire is on the way. We're investing into Corruptors, maybe a little bit too soon because we can't morph them into Broodlords yet. And GuMiho is laying siege upon this left-hand base. 5th base? 5th base. Here we go. Solar's coming in once again with the blinding clouds. Banelings roll in from both angles, but we have Thors to hold the lines. Tanks as well. The ghosts all survive. And with the death of the Ling Bane, I do think that GuMiho can push onto this base. He will. The Ravager's going to try and stop him. We have more Lings actually going for a bit of a counterattack instead, but we have reinforcements. Oh, the Lings don't make it in. Files do connect. This hatchery's getting very low. Here we go. The ghosts are exposed. Oh, Lings rushing in from the right-hand side. There's not enough to protect these tanks. Where are the Hellbats? They're gone, Papi. The tanks are going down left and right. Pure Ling is all you need. The Hellions finally show up, but they're a little bit too late. Solar did lose a tank, but he did reset the tank count. Did lose a base, but he reset the tank count. Oh, he's getting on top of the ghost as well. Not just the ghost, but also the CC. So we're trading a base for a base. GuMiho losing a little bit too much there. I love it. The cheeky borrow from Solar. We love to see it. Is going to be cleaned up. Solar, though, he survived to the point where he has that Greater Spire. He's got a couple of Corruptors. The Thor count was reset. We do have Ghosts, but now would not be a bad time to go into Broodlords. He has that tech available to him. Of course, he has to wait for the scans to run out. Meanwhile, here we go. He's coming in once again. We'll see if this is a wise choice. He's going to be able to trade against the Hellbats at least. But only the Hellbats. That was a lot of Ling Bane thrown away. Meanwhile, the one tank harass is going to get cleaned up. An expensive harass. Meanwhile, the Ghost moving forward. We have a couple of snipes on the Ravagers and the Queens. Abducts on Ghost, something you don't see too often. But GuMiho, he's trying to gain some ground here, but I don't think he can. I think the reinforcements are too much. I think GuMiho has been trading too poorly this game, especially towards the end. And Solar is breaking on through. He will not let this base get up and running. Tanks are reinforcing, but again, another Ling run by. More tanks going down. GuMiho is just bleeding out so much. And the Broodlords have arrived. Only 2. Only 2 Broodlords, but 2 Broodlords are pretty damn good. He's gonna get the tank. We'll lose the hatchery, but here we go. Solar's coming in once again for another surround. Trading so efficiently here. GuMiho just hasn't really been able to take advantage of this center base. He's kind of trying to turn his attention here to the right-hand side instead, where there is a little bit less defense and less creep. GuMiho does have a bank. Like, his economy is still, like, quite decent. He just needs time to rebuild, and Solar's not giving him that time. Once again, these tanks are looking exposed. Solar just consolidating his army, waiting to come in with his Vipers. Oh, we do have an EMP, but not before the Blinding Cloud does connect on that tank. Yeah, once again, Solar are going to be cleaning this up, never giving GuMiho any momentum, not anymore. There were moments earlier in this game where GuMiho was looking quite powerful, but now that things have settled down, Solar here in the late game with his tech transitions, with his army composition, is able to keep up. He forces a reaction, he forces out these Thors, but mate, he only ever made 2 Broodlords. He never made too many. He's going back into Roach Ravager, he's going back into Lingbane and Infestor to take control of those ghosts, sorry, of those Thors. Meanwhile, those 2 Broodlords, they're getting work done. They're getting work done here on the left-hand side. Now, Solar is losing some bases. To be fair, he just lost 2 hatcheries. Oh, there's the yoink. Did lose the gold and the center right base. Yo, but these 2 Broodlords. Same time, do see a Hellion harass here, and this is dangerous. Solar, he's on 1 base economy right now. He cannot mine from his left-hand hatchery. GuMiho is bringing this back. You thought GuMiho was hurting earlier, now Solar is. Goes for a scan, sees the saturation, sees what is left here on the right-hand side. Solar finally resuming mining, but GuMiho is rotating over. He wants that base. He knows how crucial it is. On top of that, he won't have to push up a ramp. Like, that's the difficulty here with fighting on the right-hand side. The terrain does favor Solar here, the Zerg, but here it favors the aggressor, as we do have the high ground to work with. Oh, and Solar, he's coming on in. The Infestors are a little bit too far behind, and yeah, he has to give up on this base. The hatchery will fall. Solar is max, but he doesn't have a bank. Here we go. We have a couple of scans here. GuMiho trying to find where the expansions are. I love the patient play from GuMiho as well. He only leaves a single tank to clean up that hatchery. Meanwhile, the tanks are on siege! Oh my god, Solar, he may have found a decent fight here. He goes for some Neurals, he takes control of some of those tanks as well. The tanks are falling left and right. A really awkward engagement for GuMiho. But the Thors and Ghosts do survive. Oh, he's trying to bust on in. A lot of the Infestors are being sniped as well. Great target firing from GuMiho, and he also lands the anti-armor missile. Very messy from both ends. Both Solar and GuMiho losing a lot here. Oh, at the same time, oh, this is so important. Solar goes for a Ling run by. He needs to do something to the economy of GuMiho just because Solar is long distance mining. And he will catch 10 of these SCVs. He'll get the tank. He'll force a cancel on this CC. GuMiho, though, he keeps on pushing. The last bastion of hope. The fresh mining base of Solar, the gold. But Solar, he lost his Infestors. He lost his Vipers. GG gets called. He doesn't have enough. He cannot hold, and GuMiho takes the first game. Oh. GG, well played. How the pendulum swings back and forth between the Terran and the Zerg. That was a really messy fight, though, towards the end. In the middle of the map, like, sure, GuMiho was unsieged, but also he was kind of getting us around on the Vipers and Infestors of Solar. Like, it was a really messy fight. It was really hard to tell who was taking the better trade, but Solar did lose his spellcasters, and GuMiho did have enough Ghosts and Thors left over to keep on pushing. GG gets called. Oh, what a game one. What a game, number one. It was on altitude, you know, a map that does kind of lean towards mech a little bit more. I don't think we're going to see that too often in this series. GuMiho isn't a one-trick pony. He isn't just about mech. He can play bio, and he has many more builds up his sleeves. Up his sleeve, even. Oh, and here we go. We are going to be continuing on the grand finals and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing on Side Gaming. Oh. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the player currently leading this series, the South Korean Terran player representing himself. It is GuMiho. And this is what I mean. GuMiho is so unpredictable. He's so wild. He's going for a proxy 2 racks. 2 SCVs are sent out here. And no, we have a third SCV. It's a 3 racks. A very committed build from GuMiho. Proxy 3 racks is gonna be on the way. And Solar, his overlord, is it gonna scout this? It looks like it will not. At least not for now. Oh, it does divert its path, headed over towards the south. It may just barely catch the edge of this if it does go a little bit more to the left. As Solar did go for a hatch gas pool, standard opener from Solar. Bearing in mind, last game, Solar opened up with a pool first, anticipating a cheese. But the cheese has arrived, and this time he has gone for a hatch first. Oh, he barely does miss this. And now Solar is none the wiser. Oh my god. And this is a bit scary. There we go. Finally, Solar does see the SCV with his overlord. He's going to be pulling the boys down here to try and deny this bunker. We'll see how good the defense is for Solar. He does try to dive on top of this SCV, but look at the positioning as well from the bunker. He's able to try and avoid that. The Marines are being surrounded as we speak. The boys are getting on top of them. One Marine is going to be going down. Oh, but both SCVs survive, and now we have an influx of Marines as well. I think Solar is misreading this a little bit. He didn't see the racks, so he doesn't know how much there is. But the Marines are going to be able to stutter step for days. The bunker is still alive. We still have one SCV to try to finish it. Oh, the SCV is targeted down, and we do have the cancel. Whew. But 7 drones went down. GuMiho has a worker lead right now, and the Marines can keep on pushing. There is no spine crawler, only 2 queens and links to defend. Unfortunately for GuMiho, this proxy location is pretty far away, but it takes a while to reinforce. There we go, GuMiho going for a CC on location. He doesn't even go for the factory first. He's so greedy. Oh my god. Ay. Such a greedy way to follow this up. We're going to have 0 production for the time being. Solar is going for link speed. Solar is behind in drones, and I think he's going for a link flood. He's going for a counterattack. He's making nothing but links right now. He has stopped droning. 16 drones, that is all he has. He's working on a 17th drone, to be fair. Okay, he's droning up a little bit. And wisely, GuMiho does turn around. Oh, but Solar, he wants the Marines. He wants the Marines, Papi. He wants them. Can he get here in time before the Raxes land? Oh, it looks like he will. Link speed finishes up in 10 seconds. Still 10 seconds away, and without link speed, oh, Solar is zoned off. Link speed kicks in now, but this is going to be a better trade for the Terran. Oof. A lot of links go down there. And GuMiho does get the full wall. GuMiho up in bases, sorry, even in bases, up in economy. He goes for 2 factories behind this. He's going for a mech transition. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Papi. Not like this. Ugh. And we'll see if Solar can recover. Unfortunately, he just spent so much lava on 18 Lings and they didn't really do much. They shaved off Marines, but we don't care about Marines. We're going into mech. That's the thing. That's the problem. The 3rd Rax is being used to scout, and GuMiho is confirming no additional gases have been taken, no more gas mining, no fast lair, no fast spire. GuMiho knows how safe he is. And Solar may be caught by surprise. We already have a 3rd CC as well, so yeah, GuMiho is ahead in bases, workers, tech. The reveal of the Blue Flame Hellion is going to be devastating. Unless Solar is able to figure out what's going on. Oh boy. And we'll see how this goes. Right now, the Brax is just floating around trying to get scouting information. We do have that lair. 2 more gases are being taken as well. From here, we can go into a Roach Warren for Roach speed, or we can go into that Spire. Spire would be a risky move, though. We have a Baleen Nest. I think it is going to be a Spire. We'll see. No Roach Warren in sight. Usually we get one or the other, Baleen Nest or Roach Warren. Up! Oh my god. Ling almost gets in. Aliens on the way. Blue Flame and Magfield. Solar, unawares of what's going on, he's throwing down some spores. He's being as safe as possible because he hasn't scattered anything. Little does he know that there is no starport. We have 3 factories. Ugh. Ugh. It's a lot of factories, mate. That's a lot of factories. There's that Spire. And this is worrisome. So Solar is going to rely on Queen, Ling, and Bane to defend. And for a long time, he's going to be banking resources to go into mutas. But here we go. Blue Flame is done. The Hellions are about to show that off. The Lings are getting roasted. And the Hellions are going to be able to dive into the mineral line. Only 2 Hellions, to be fair. Nice Evo block from Solar. Able to force the Hellions a little bit delayed. Force them the long way around. And they will be cleaned up. Ooh. Very nice handling of that situation from Solar. But here comes the follow-up. We still have droning, we still have the Spire. The Cyclones reveal themselves and they're gonna get lock-ons on the Queens. Oh god, the Queens are gonna be going down. They try to transfuse each other to survive for as long as possible, but there's only so much you can do against these Cyclones. Oh, every Queen is gonna go down. Lings are going for a surround, but what are they really surrounding? Banelings are waddling in. Ugh. And it looks like with the reinforcing Hellions and the Cyclones, yeah, GuMiho, he just keeps on pushing. He doesn't care. Only 1 Queen left. Mutas are coming out, but mutas against Magfield Cyclones, we've seen that dance before with the upgrade, with the new patch Cyclones. Mutas, they melt, especially in low numbers. But here we go. The defenses have been broken. The mineral line is exposed. Solar evacuates. He knows he cannot hold on to this hatchery. Mutas are being spotted as they pop out, and 1 muta already goes down. GG gets called. Going blindly into that Spire was a risk. Solar had no idea about the 3 factory follow-up, and Solar will get punished for it. GG, GuMiho takes game 2. Oh. And has a 2-0 lead in this series. Damn. Oh. GG, well played. And now GuMiho is 1 game away from becoming this week's ESL Americas champion. Ooh. And now we're getting into game 3, and oh god, Solar is up against the ropes right now. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, Papi. It's not looking good. One more loss, and that is it. The event is over. Oh boy, we'll see if he can bring it back. As game 3 is going to be taking place on Gresvan, GuMiho uno mas, one more is all he needs. All he needs. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing On-Side Gaming. It is Solar. Currently down in the series, fighting for his life. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself. He's teamless. He's also up 2-0, one game away from taking the series, from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. It is GuMiho. Oh. Ah. Ay. He is so close. This time, the Rax is at home. And that's probably important to take note of. The Rax is at home. GuMiho is not going for a proxy, but every game so far, he's gone for a variation of mech, of battle mech timings. Solar has been having a hard time here. Again, to be fair, he was able to keep up for a long time in game 1. Game 1 was really close. Game 1 could have gone either way, but game number 2 was just so unfortunate. Solar was lacking a lot of information. He didn't know what the follow-up was going to be from the proxy 3 racks. He was assuming it was going to be bio, and I don't blame him. There's 3 raxes, you know? But alas, he was hit with a cyclone timing, and Solar just wasn't ready for it. Trying to get into mutas. Oh. Regardless, we got to shake off that last game. We're getting into game 3, and we see a hatch gas pool opener from Solar. Everything's looking standard. He doesn't want to mix things up. He doesn't want to go crazy. Meanwhile, his opponent likewise goes for a Rax expand. Oh, we're returning to normalcy here in game 3. Oh boy. And with this, yeah, we'll see if GuMiho whips out the bio. You know, again, he is very capable of playing with Marines and Marauders. He isn't just the mech boy. But maybe I'm uncopium. Maybe I just want to believe that he can do something else. Oh my god, one drone already going down here at the start of the game. Not a good start for Solar. Nice pickoff and control from GuMiho to be able to dance between the minerals and avoid that surround. Oh. Meanwhile, again, Solar had a really rough opening last game as well, just because he didn't know if it was a proxy 2 racks or 3 racks. He lost a lot of drones in the defense, and GuMiho was able to just skyrocket from that point. As behind this, we have a 3cc before starport opener. Very economic, very standard, very safe from GuMiho. From here, we should be seeing an add-on swap and a Banshee opener as well, but we'll see if GuMiho has something else in store for us. We could be seeing like a Viking first into Fusion Core, or I don't know, a Raven opening, which some players have been playing with. It's not amazing. It's not that great, but you know, every now and then you see one. And there is that add-on switch. And there is that Banshee as well. So again, nothing too crazy from GuMiho. As standard can be in current meta. 2 Hellions poke in just to apply some pressure. Nothing too much, just confirming the location of the 3rd base. As the first Banshee is coming out. What's important is that we are preserving our gas. We're not going to be going for Cloak. So not the most committed Banshees from GuMiho. As we get straight into our tech lab and show us the stim. Oh, let's go, Papi, let's go. Yeah. Now, a couple of things that are important. Again, because of the delayed, because there is no cloak, we're getting a faster stim here. We're not stopping Hellion production either. We already have 6 Hellions. We're working up towards 8. And we're getting a 9th Hellion. Oh, he cancels. Oh, he shows the building Hellion he cancels is going for the add-on swap. Okay. I was worried we were going to go for some kind of weird timing, but no, we are not. GuMiho is going to be landing his 3rd CC. And we are going to be transitioning. Meanwhile, across the map, Solar going for his lair on time, taking his gases as well. Again, everything is looking quite normal here for him to take his Baneling Nest and his Evo Chambers. He's going to have an option here. He can either throw down two Evo Chambers or go for that Spire to try and get into Lingbane Muta. Shall see as a 4th hatchery is thrown down. There are the Evo Chambers. We're seeing straight up Lingbane play out of Solar, and this is what I wanted from this series. Lingbane up against Marine Marauder, up against Bio. You love to see it. Oh, feels good, man. None of this mech. Get out of here. Oh boy. With this, of course, GuMiho still has those 2 Banshees, and he's going to be able to harass across the map. Going to be able to poke in and out and see if he can find some damage here. We have a Spore in the main, Spore at the natural, no Spore at the 3rd, but we don't have Cloak, so it doesn't matter too much. The Banshees dip in, and they're going to be able to pick off some of these gas mining workers. 2 drones go down, not bad. Across the map, the Hellions are chilling, waiting for a bit of a Ling run by, making sure they're safe at home. Yo, and can we get the gas? The gas guys is getting pretty low here. The Queens are coming to respond. We have a transfuse on the Queen. Gas gets very low. Meanwhile, the Hellions once again just poking in, clearing up some of this creep. You love to see it. They're going to get 1. They get 2 tumors. 4 backing up. And we are going towards a bit of a push here. We've got a single tank, so not a very committed push. I'm a little bit concerned for GuMiho here that he may not have enough, but here we go. He's going to be able to get the Queens. Wow, all 3 Queens go down, as well as the tumors. Forcing himself up this ramp, though, I think is asking for a little bit much. Baneling speed is already done. We have a good amount of Lingbane. GuMiho doesn't want to overextend. I love this. He's actually sending his Hellions here towards the left-hand side. Does catch the surround. Very nice movement. Despite that, though, we still have so much Lingbane, and Solar can still defend even from coming from one angle. And there we go. He gets on top of the tank. GuMiho has to get the hell out of there. He's taking his 4th base on location. Very greedy move here from GuMiho. Meanwhile, he's reinforcing across the map. Another tank is moving on out. Solar getting ready for a run by Aura Surround. You'd love to see the tank slugged in up against that wall in that corner. But again, Solar getting ready with the Lingbane behind the army. He's going for a counterattack. What do we have at home to defend? We do have some reinforcements. Ooh, a couple of SCVs are exposed. Oh my god, the Banelings! Oh no! He's not looking! Oh, the Banelings, they find their connections that they need. GuMiho takes an awful trade back at home, but his attention is focused on the main army. Great detonations from Solar. Meanwhile, this 5th base is going to be cancelled. Marines moving on forward, picking off a couple of drones. Hot pick up there from GuMiho as he zooms straight into the main base. Again, just looking to harass, just looking to be a little bit annoying. 2-2 on the horizon. Hydrogen was thrown down. Lingbane Hydra is going to be the composition of choice for Solar. 4th base, though, up and running. GuMiho, bold move, goes for an orbital, not a planetary. So if Solar gets a little bit of momentum, Solar gets map control, this 4th is going to be very exposed. This is just how GuMiho plays. He just takes so many risks. It's crazy. Speaking of, there's that Ling run by here at the third base. We do have a sensor tower, but we have a lot of Ling main being set up to head in this direction, and GuMiho, he can't really do anything about it. The Bailings roll on in. They take down the entire mineral line. The fourth base is completely taken out. And now GuMiho is forced to push in. But Solar's ready for him. What can GuMiho really do? Here we go, the Ling Bane's rolling on forward. We only have one tank siege, and one siege tank is not going to be enough. The target firing is looking pretty damn good. But both tanks go down at the same time. Lings do break into the third base as well. GuMiho just cutting too many corners, skipping the planetary, being hyper aggressive with like 1 or 2 tanks as well. Spreading himself too thin, and Solar is looking to fight back in this series. He is looking to take this game. I see Asher in the chat. Light's still gonna call him a make him use it. Yeah, of course, Papi, of course. Asher knows, Papi, Asher knows. GuMiho is going to be rotating over here towards the southern portion of the map as well. Has 2 tanks, but again, not a lot to work with. Solar just goes for another run by this fourth base. Once again, it's not going to get up and running. No mining gear whatsoever. As look at all the mules. Oh, every worker and mule is going to go down. The army forced back. Solar can hold on to his 5th as he takes a 6th. Doesn't have too much creep spread, that I will say, but Solar is about to max out. He has his hive, is working on +3. Vipers are out, and Vipers are going to be the nail in the coffin here. GuMiho does have a comparable army, to be fair. So he can maybe take an efficient fight and then like just go all in from that point. Hatchery is going to be going down. Meanwhile, we have a drop here towards the north. Here we go. Light sounded like Artosis. He takes risks, that's all he does. He's so bad. Is that what Artosis says? I wasn't saying that. Jesus. I would never call GuMiho bad. Ay. Oh. Alright, Solar getting ready for a mass around. GuMiho going in with everything he has with a pretty decent army, but we have the blinding clouds. The tanks are rendered inert here. And the Bailings are just going to be able to crash in and just annihilate everything there is. Oh. GuMiho was pretty committed with this push. After all the economic damage, the losses that he had taken, that was his last-ditch effort. He still has a standing army, to be fair. And hey, there's no creep here at least, but Solar, he's going to be able to remax, and he's just going to dive in again. One tank is not going to scare him. And even with these reinforcements, it's not going to be enough to stop Solar from just sending everything across the map. The tanks full, the army as well. GG gets called, and Solar fights back in game number 3. Oh, GG. Ay. Solar finally getting a bio game. But to be fair, like, again, there was that GuMiho twist to it as well. You know, the 4th base on location, the lack of planetary, his aggression as well with 1 tank at a time, just kind of trying to force himself into the bases, into the 3rd of Solar. Very aggressive moves. But oh, am I gonna have a co-caster? Oh, Este Asher. Ay. Ah, it's too late. God damn it. Here we go. We are getting into game number 4. Still potentially the final game. Solar still up against the ropes, but the comeback has begun. It has begun. Here we go. Game number 4 is going to be on Neo Humanity. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing On-Side Gaming. Fighting back in that last game, fighting back in this series. He will not be 3-0'd. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran, still one game away from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. It is GuMiho. We got a Funada in the chat. Shaking my head. And yeah, I'm really curious as to what the vetoes were, if both Altitude and Neo Humanity made it through. This is why I love Korean StarCraft. They're not afraid of some of these more unorthodox maps here. They're willing to embrace the strange. And I wonder what GuMiho's plan is going to be here. We talk about this a lot. Despite the rush distance being short on Neo Humanity, we have seen quite a lot of players turtle on up and defend on 4 bases, get 5 bases, get essentially their half of the map. And it wouldn't be a bad choice for Mech. Of course, the downside is that because of the rush distance being so short, potentially the Zerg player can go for a roach timing and try and break the Terran before they can really get things underway. So yeah, I wonder what the dynamic is going to be here. I wonder if GuMiho is even going to revert to Mech. That's kind of the question. Here we go. As for the time being, we just have a Rex expand here from our Terran. Hatch gas pool from our Zerg player as well. Nothing too crazy. As a reminder, earlier in this series, Solar did go pool first on Altitude, but I guess since from that point at least, yeah, he doesn't want to mess around with that. Not anymore, Papi, not anymore. Well, I like how GuMiho is kind of anticipating that. He didn't really go for a regular SCV scout. He's keeping his Reaper back at home, anticipating Lings to be showing up here. Kind of mind gaming himself in a little bit, in a way. As Solar just go for a hatch gas pool. 3rd base on the way as well. And the Lings that do come out from Solar are going to be able to avoid that Reaper in the end, as it didn't reveal itself here to the Overlord. Oh my god. When was the last time I saw this in a ZvT? It's been a long time, Papi. It's been a long time, as we are setting up for a Hellion drop. Hellions are on the way. Starport is across the map. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. GuMiho playing this out like a TVP. You love to see it. There's that medevac, by the way. GuMiho is going for the drop. Solar does spot the Hellions here on the left-hand side of the map, does spot them as they do pressure this 3rd hatchery, but he hasn't seen the proxy. He doesn't know he has to be ready here in the main base. Does have some Lings, but they are going to be slow Lings, and the Queens are being dragged here towards the 3rd. Being dragged out of position, exactly what GuMiho wants. As we're picking up and we're going in. Vamonos, papi, vamonos. We're going for the drop into the main base. The Queen's not quite here. Speed is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. How many Lings do we have to defend? We have 9 Lings in total, but the drones are lighting up. Oh, God. 3 drones, 6 drones going down. And again, because of the lack of Queens, we can just pick up and drop down towards the natural. Oh, my God. The medevac will survive the Hellions as well. We have a Liberator follow-up, mate. It doesn't end, Papi. It doesn't end. Here we go. Liberator going to be headed towards the main. The drop is now diving in towards the natural. The Hellions towards the third. A bit of a tri-prong attack here from GuMiho. Oh, but he will lose a Hellion. And this time the defenses from Solar are solid. Oh no! Ooh. The medevac in the main does go down, but the Hellions find an opening and they do head towards that third. Sorry, the natural. Evo block was a little bit too late. 3 more drones go down. The Hellions are going to get, sorry, the Lings are going to get cleaned up. So will the Hellions. Ooh. Meanwhile, where's that lib? Ah, there it is. The Liberator does siege up at the third of all places, not the main. Interesting choice. Does get a couple more drones as they come out. Oh. And after all said and done, how many workers have we lost? 12 drones went down for 7 Hellions and a medevac. Oh, Liberator is going to be able to get out of there though. Back at home, we do have that third CC on the way. We have the 3-axe follow-up as well. Pretty standard setup. We are going to be getting Bio, not Mech, once again. But yeah, I have to wonder if that was worth it. I imagine that was worth it in the end for GuMiho. It did cost him that medevac, which is a bit of a shame, but 12 drones is quite a lot. And it's not like he doesn't have any Hellions left over, so he still has, you know, some form of map control. Not too much, but at least some. Meanwhile, Solar, now that he has been able to stabilize, we have double Evo chambers. Once again, we're getting into Ling Bane. Would be getting into Ling Bane Hydra once again, just like last game. Oh, so apparently some people in the chat were thinking it was VCs. I mean, well, we do have that. The proxy starport is still going ham, by the way. Do you have that reactor on the way just so we can continue production without losing too much to that airtime that the starport would be under? Hellions trying to do what they can to clear up some creep, but again, we only have 3 Hellions, so they're having a hard time asserting themselves on the map. Oof. And after all said and done, things are going to be settling down here. Solar even throwing down a safety Roach Horn as well. I don't really know if he intends to commit into Roach Ravager Ling Bane, but he does have the tech available to him just in case. Looking at his vision, he wasn't really able to confirm into the main what exactly the production is, so again, he's just trying to be careful. As the Hellions do move out here on the right hand side, clearing up quite a lot of this creep. Meanwhile, at the same time, Lings go for one. The wall is not a wall! Oh, but despite it not being a wall, we have a lot of Marines here to defend. Is this the best trade for Solar? He's going to be losing every single Ling. Ay. Oh. Diving in, not really knowing what he was diving into, and I imagine regretting it immediately. We got like a couple of Hellions, a couple of Marines, or so many Lings. 68 Lings have gone down. Just kill one more. Kill one more, puppy. That's all we need. And that's dangerous. Now that's triggering a counterattack. Solar throwing away so much of his army. Now we don't have anywhere near as much Lings to defend. We do have some Ravagers though. And a great utility unit here for the Zerg to be able to shut down Liberators, tanks. Force some micro out of the bio. GuMiho is, upon seeing the army, is going to be backing off. We do see Solar confirming the 4th base on location once again from GuMiho. But the Ling run by is going to be denied. Is he going to go for an orbital again? Mate, let's go. I mean, I think it's safer to go for an orbital on Neo Humanity, to be fair, just because of the choke points, just because of the defensive position. We should be seeing that. As behind this, we are not getting Ling Bane Hydra. We are switching things up. A Spire is thrown down for Solar. Yeah, not a bad map for Mutas. Here we go, GuMiho. Now the drop play has commenced. So we have double drop moving in towards the top right hand corner of the map. Drilling claws commencing as well to get into biomine. Again, nothing too crazy to speak of, other than the fact that, of course, GuMiho is setting up with 3 armies. He's got his Hellions towards the left, he's got the double drop heads in towards the natural, and the main army outside the queens, or outside the third towards the queens. Oh, the queens! Oh, we do react in time. We're going to be able to pull back just before one of them gets picked off. The mine shot. Oh my god, the juiciest mine shot available. Oh my god. Oh. I think the maximum amount of lings going down there. Meanwhile, we haven't pulled the trigger yet with our Hellions and with our drop, but here we go. The Hellions going to be clearing up some of that creep here on the left-hand side, going to be trying to distract Solar. Another mine shot going off, this time nowhere near as good. Oh. Ravager's going to be able to clean that up. And now Solar doesn't have to worry about that tri-pronged attack. Banelings are left here at home to defend, and the Hellions have to respect that. The drop still hasn't gone in. But we're keeping an eye on it. And Solar, despite the fact that he's been trading relatively, he's been trading with his main army, he has been able to keep his economy going. That's the thing. He's up to 91 drones. He has his 5 base economy. He has his hive. He has his greater spire on the way, and vipers as well. So even though he has been losing a lot of lings, for example, he has been able to keep his workers alive, and that is what matters. He has been able to recover from losing those 12 workers early on. As we can see, that spire wasn't for mutas, it was just for the greater spire, just to take up even further. Meanwhile, Solar being a little bit greedy here, trying to expand on the left-hand side is going to be denied. So far, can't really get a 6th. Not yet. Double drop's still there, by the way. Could just be waiting for this hatchery to be taken, to be honest. Wouldn't be too bad. Broodlords are in production. We had a couple of those corruptors. Oh, the mine! Doesn't go off, actually. Lings are rolling on forward. The tanks are on siege, Papi, and it looks like the tanks are all going to be going down. At the same time, the double drop does go back in. GuMiho uses this as his opportunity to go for a little bit of chaos. To create some chaos, even. 5 drones going down. The Hellbats on the left-hand side are being cleaned up. The EVA chambers! Oh my god. The transfuses are not going to be enough. Plus 3 carapace is denied. At the same time, another army is pushing on forward here. He could try and force a cancel on this hatchery, but he doesn't go for it. Oh, he's respecting this counterattack. The Broodlords have just been revealed, and that's a lot of Broodlords. 8 Broodlords in total. Do we have an answer? We have no ghosts. Vikings are being produced. Thors are on the way, but they just now started. These Broodlords are going to be able to deal a lot of damage before their answer is really here. Meanwhile, GuMiho going for a counterattack again. This hatchery is very exposed. 5th base is going to be denied. We're on a bit of a timer here. Vikings are on the way. Meanwhile, yeah, the hatchery is going to be going down, and GuMiho, he can go straight in towards the third. Sorry, in towards the natural. Oh, and here we go. Solar's respecting this. He's coming back home with his Lingbane. He's turning back around with his Broodlords as well. He at least has these queens to support, so the Vikings aren't going to be able to hunt them down. Ugh. And GuMiho's drop is cleaned up. After all said and done, I do still favor Solar's position, though. He does keep his Broodlords alive. He keeps his Vipers alive as well. He loses his Queens, but again, he still has the momentum. He can still keep on pushing. Up. We have a powerbomb on the Vikings. The Lingbane is rolling on forward as well, and there's just no splash damage available. There is only, no Widowmines, maybe a single tank. The Banelings roll on forward. The frames are dropping right now just because of how much there is going on. And GuMiho is being forced all the way back. The Broodlord stands strong. The natural and the third base have been broken. A couple of ghosts are pushing on forward here. The Lingbane is running out. Oh my god, and as the Thors pop, can GuMiho hold? He's trying desperately. It looks like he will clean up all the Broodlords. but at the cost of 22 SCVs. And behind this, we can just remax on Lingbane Ultra. The era of the Broodlord has come and gone. We're switching out of the Broodlords into something else entirely. We do have Ghosts, which will help against those Ultras, don't get us wrong, but there's no anchor point here. There are no Liberators. Tanks are on the way, which will help, but GuMiho, his economy is in shambles, barely mining on 4 bases. Does expand here on the left-hand side, is trying to mule it as best he can. But moving on to creep is not the play, not right now. Do you have a more Marauder drop being set up? This right-hand base is so exposed. We have a planetary though, now, finally. We're just waiting for kindness plating. +3 carapace was never restarted, which is a pretty big deal to be honest. But because of the overall supply advantage, it may not matter. The soup may not be lying this time. Here we go. We have the blinding clouds. The tanks are going down one after the other, and there is nowhere else to run. Nice snipes on those ultras, to be fair. Oh, but every ghost goes down. Oof. And there's just too much Zerg on the dance floor. The natural has been broken. The main is kind of being held here by those mines. Really good mine shots going off. GuMiho going to be able to hold once again, utilizing this SimCity. Doesn't lose too many SCVs either, but he did lose his ghosts. And looking at the units tab here, we have 0 ghosts remaining. That was the answer to the ultras. That was the answer to the spellcasters. We don't have that answer anymore. Meanwhile, this isn't the main floated over. It's all it's all orbitals made. Is GuMiho just opposed to planetaries? I mean, he has one technically, but my god. The greed, man. And here we go. The third base is forced to be lifted. We do have another blinding cloud on that tank. The Banelings detonate into the mineral line or into the SCVs. As GuMiho is having a hard time keeping up with this. It's a bit of a slow death, but a death nonetheless. GG gets called, and Solar is going to be forcing the ace match. Let's go. We're going all the way. We have game number 5. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. And do I have a co-caster? Looks like I do. Maybe? Join me, Poppy. Join me. For the ace match, for game number 5. Hopefully he's paying attention to the in-game. Poppy. Ah! Join me, Poppy. Join me. Whew, there we go. Oh boy, it looks like, at least for the final game, I will not be alone. Here we go. He has joined us, the man himself, the Terran apologist. Welcome, AsherBro, to the cast. Welcome.
Oh, I'm here just in time to see Solar defeat GuMiho as punishment for playing Bio.
I hope so. Look, I'm just saying, GuMiho has won every mech game and he's lost every bio game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But welcome.
And you still blame him. You're like, why would you play mech? Why would you do it? Just roll over and die.
I understand that he wants to win, but at what cost, Papi? You know, like, to throw away your humanity like that. You know, he made a deal with the devil.
That is true. Like, you win this battle, but do you win the war?
That's the question, mate. That's the question. But thank you, Asher. Thank you for joining me today. I know it's quite early in the day, and there is work to be done, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
That's pretty generous.
Well, I mean, you know, for those who don't know, Asher has a 9-to-5 job. You know, he's usually busy at this hour, so I usually don't get a caster, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You'll have to explain to me how I have a 9-to-5 job when I wake up at 11. I haven't quite worked that one out yet.
Why are you making yourself out to be more of a degen, Poppy? I'm like trying to save you, and you're like, no, I'm jumping in front of this bus. I'm going for it, Poppy.
Mate, I have to get on this bus. I have to. I got places to be.
It's a bus to Clown Town, Poppy. Let's go. As you've made it in time for the ace match, game number 5.
Let's go. Oh, you can introduce the Zerg. I don't want none of this.
Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. As sporting in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He was down 0-2, and he is pulling off the reverse sweep, the reverse all kill. Can he do it? 1 game away from taking this series. Representing Onside Gaming, it is Solar.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map, he's just trying to survive. He's just trying to, you know, live his life out here without being harassed by these crazy Zerg players. It is the Korean Terran in the blue for Psystorm, GuMiho.
You're coping, Poppy. He's in denial, Poppy. He's trying to show us that he can play Bio. He's trying to like deny his like primal nature.
Look what happens.
Yeah.
Actually, he played that third game. His 3cc Banshee. The timing was so crisp. It was so nice. It was so good, and Solar just rolled over him. Tragic.
Ay. Oh my god. I mean, we'll see, right? Like GuMiho, now that he's up against the wall, is he gonna deny who he is inside? Or is he gonna embrace the inner ape, Poppy? Is he gonna embrace it?
He's already gone for the GuMiho special with the gas 1 supply later than usual, and then getting a Marine instead of a Reaper, so he gets a slightly faster CC. So I feel like he's already vibing.
Oh, let's go.
You can't start like this and not end up going into max, surely.
He's having a good time, Poppy. He's having a good. Shout out to GuMiho, by the way, because if it wasn't for him, you know, the series would already be over. Like,
they're gonna say if it wasn't for him, there'd be rocks. There'd be rocks everywhere, tripping over.
Oh, exactly. He's looking after his boys. He's looking after what few men with gun he will be making this game. As once again, he does skip the SCV Scout. He also skips the Reaper Scout as he does go Marine first.
So if the first Marine's Craig, who's the second one?
Is it Craig and Krug?
No.
No?
It's Sheldon.
Sheldon, yeah, there we go, Sheldon.
Craig, Sheldon, and Josh.
I was gonna say Josh. I was gonna say Josh, yeah.
Look at him go.
And is the third one Noah? Is that does he count?
What? Who's Noah?
Piglet.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, he can be the fourth one.
Yeah.
No, Craig, Sheldon, Josh, and Noah, yeah.
Are we forgetting anyone?
That's every Australian term.
AsherBro.
That's all of them.
That's all of them, Poppy. Aye. Smooch.
Baz is driving a Hellion. That's for sure.
True. Look, Faz never plays anything. He's too busy working on the weekend. Shaking my head.
Mate, that's like got out of hospo. That's a rough life.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah, for sure.
No one thinks of you.
I think of you, Faz. every time there's a bracket.
Just inappropriately.
How else am I gonna think of it? What do you mean? Oh god. But we are getting into this, and we are having a 1-1-1 open to kick things off. Not that third CC that we're used to, and we have a second Rex.
He's crazy. We've got a third Rex. Oh, it's Bio. It's over.
It's over.
Call it.
Throw in the towel, mate. He's got the towel ready, and it's wet, Poppy, and it's not going to be enough.
Is that why he's holding the towel to get ready to throw it in? But I have it close at hand.
Yeah, he's always ready, Poppy. He's always ready. The flick of a wrist.
All right, so yeah, there's going to be a bio game coming out from him. Very kind of weird creative opening. And while Solar going for a little bit of a link flood, so Solar is reading this brilliantly, realizes that GuMiho is skipping out on the Hellions and is not going to have much splash damage, just has these few Marines at the front. So this is a really well-timed little rumbo.
Yeah, exactly. Lings do come across the map, but there aren't that many of them, and that Marine counts, he's got more than just Aussie Marines, mate. There's more than that. He's got...
There's Dav and Chappie. We've got the off races in there as well.
Let's go. The off racing Zergs. Let's go, puppy. Even Tez is in there, mate, and it's too much. Solar, he's forced back.
No can defend. Solar just continues to spread creep around, going into his Bane Nest and Lair. So playing just a very kind of general catch-all style. I did see that he was playing a bit of Raveling Bane in the previous game, but I think that's just a near humanity special though.
Yeah. Just to be safe overall, and he was able to bring that back in the end. But I agree, you know, this should be just straight up Ling Bane setup. Nothing too crazy coming out from Solar, just droning to his heart's content. And it's going to be on GuMiho instead because, mate, there's no third CC. Oh.
Okay. I'm surprised we haven't seen an armory. This looks a lot like a Hellbat push.
It does. It does look like a Hellbat push. We have 4 Hellions. We have a Liberator as well. And a decent chunk of Marines. This is going to be hitting with Stim. +1 and combat shields, though, is still on the horizon. So this is going to be a really interesting time because he gets his 3rd on location.
Okay, yeah, 3rd on location. So this is, something GuMiho is really good at is having these very weird builds with lots of units everywhere and using that for... map control. But yeah, the Hellion's going to be diving on in. We have a Liberator at the natural as well, so he's creating a lot of chaos. He does lose his medevac in the main though, so I mean the thing is with these very strange multi-prong attacks is it's very, very important to keep each prong alive since you're actually operating with not that many units in general.
Yeah, and as amazing and stylish this was from GuMiho, it kind of falls on its face. I say kind of because he did get 5 drones. That's nice, but he did lose a lot. He invested quite a lot here, and he delayed his 3rd for so long.
Yeah, 5 drones for 4 Hellions, a Liberator, and a medevac full of Marines. I'm not in love with it.
Yeah, exactly. And now GuMiho's kind of going to be setting himself behind here. I mean, again, at least he, I guess, technically wasn't completely all in, and he does have a point of transition, but Solar is so free to drone from here.
Do you reckon he just like makes up these builds on the fly?
Nah, he's got a notebook and he's got like a lot of theory. He put in a lot of thought and effort into this. I'd like to think that that's the case.
My idea is that he's got a notepad like that.
Yeah.
But he has like cards, and each card has like one of them will have Liberator, one of them will have like single Marine drop, and then he has Velcro, and he like arranges them.
He shuffles the deck, you know, before he plays the game. And then
yeah.
Oh my god.
Does his mulligan.
Exactly. But here we go. The push on the right-hand side does get deflected. Thankfully, GuMiho does at least keep his tank alive. But alas, he isn't really able to find too much room here. Only cleans up a little bit of creep as Solar is droning up, saturating his 4th, soon to be taking a 5th.
Yeah, so Solar just kind of spreading his wings across the map here, is getting into that 1-1 as well. So did delay his upgrades just a little bit here. But he should be in a pretty comfortable spot here. The creep spread is fantastic, as always. Solar's got some of the best creep spread around, and it's very consistent.
Yeah, definitely. He's done such a great job at just, as you were saying, you know, spreading his wings.
Wings at light?
Yeah, wait, what do you think? What was I going to say? What do you mean? His wings?
I don't know.
5th base is on the way. We're getting up into the 80 drone count. We have an infestation bid to go into Hive. Ling Bane Hydra is the composition of choice, quite standard. It's going to be on GuMiho to try and pull him apart. He does have a couple of drops out on the map to try and pull that off.
Yeah, I feel like this is Solar's most common, comfortable style here, and he always does look so fantastic with it. GuMiho going to be going into a mine-based style as well, so that can be a little bit more difficult to make work against Hydras. It's still fine, but the Hydras do a pretty good job trading out with those.
Yeah, they really do. They're just such a flexible unit as well. Of course, they can lead into the Lunker later on, even though that's kind of fallen out of fashion. The tech is available there if Solar wants it. Meanwhile, GuMiho is going to be going to land his 4th CC on a location. But Solar, he's maxed.
Yeah, he is. I mean, GuMiho's set up in some pretty nice defensive positions here. He's doing a very good job panning back the creep, at least on this left-hand side, to give himself the space to take his fourth. It is getting a little bit out of control on the right-hand side, though.
Yeah, it is getting out of hand, but we do have a double drop towards the north to try and deal with that. Meanwhile, the drop here towards the south does get cleaned up, does force the pickup to head in towards another base. Meanwhile, we're going in towards the fourth.
Yeah, the multitasking starting to pop off here for GuMiho, and these lings just trickling in is not going to be it for Solo. They're all going to be going down. The rest of the army finally arrives, but he can just drop out, pull out of there.
Oh.
And he has that triple drop still to the south.
Oh.
Yeah, Terrans pull out, man.
He's pulling.
Crazy.
He's great. How does he do it?
I don't know. You need to take some notes. Maybe if you started playing Terrans, you wouldn't have to pay so much each month on child support.
You think I pay my child support? Yeah.
Don't remind them.
Oh my god, as we do see GuMiho doing quite a great job at keeping his Marines alive. And look at that, despite having almost a 50 supply deficit, he has been able to close that gap here on his 4 bases. He is slowly catching up in that supply.
Man, Terran's crazy. Look at that. He's down in supply, but he's still out on the map controlling the creep.
Yeah, he knows, Poppy. He just needs some Marines.
What can you do?
We're getting nothing, Poppy. Oh my god. As it is.
I know.
Oh my god, the mines!
Oh. Not the worst micro from Solo, not the best either, but he does take out all the mines. He will be charging on through, and suddenly this base on the left-hand side in quite a little bit of trouble. Plenty of banelings here for Solo, but that tank is beautifully positioned there on the high ground.
Yeah, the tank on the high ground means the Solar is forced off that map. Sorry, forced off that base. He cannot push on through.
Get the hell off.
He's out, man. He's out of the game, Poppy. You see that triple jump coming back in, but we do have a power bomb here to try and deny it.
Man, you hit him with the Smash Bros melee, kicked him off the map.
Let's go, Poppy, let's go. You hear the home run sound as the drop is being cleaned up in the main base. Finally, Solo can focus on just regaining control, regaining his composure as well, taking more bases. He's working on 3-3 or at least +3. And hey, we even have that Lunkerden.
Yeah, so we do have the options for lurkers, and Solo, he is extremely good at this phase of the game. I've seen a lot of games where he's pulled apart otherwise even games by, having a Nidus in the main with lurkers and hitting 2 different sides at once. A little bit harder to make work on such a big map like this, but as GuMiho does try to take his 5th, he is going to be spread pretty thin across all these bases, and that's where Solo can start to go for this multi-prong.
Yeah, definitely. He can try and abuse how spread thin GuMiho is. Meanwhile, he's just going through right down the middle of the map here, trying to dive on top of this army.
Yeah, we see some good AMPs going down on the Vipers. Very nice split as well from GuMiho. Actually going to be taking a really good fight here. The 360 surround by the bio is incredible here, and suddenly he feels a little bit of momentum going across the map. He does have ghosts in case there's lurkers or anything. But meanwhile, we do see Solo just going to be remaxing on Lingbane, has that Nidus on the way as well for that multi-prong pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we have a drop here towards the north just to harass the fresh mining base or the fresh base of Solo, but the Queens are going to be able to defend. It looks like Solo wants another fight here. I mean, he has been able to remax. He wants to try and trade, but he's having a hard time finding that angle. Oh my god.
Yeah, the terrain being used to great effect by GuMiho here, and also the SimCity right here. Going to be able to confirm the kills on all the Lings, but here we go. Solo going to be charging on in. The Ghost at the front, tanking a little bit of the Ling Bane, and once again, the terrain not really working out that well for Solo. He has to move around this kind of giant brick in the center here, and it's not working out too well for him.
Yeah, exactly. He does take out a lot of tanks, to be fair, especially the tanks that were defending that third base. He gets a couple of SCV kills here. He has a bank. He can remax. He's going to be going again.
The lurkers are here. The Vipers, they are sucking. They are getting that energy back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are indeed, and I feel like the Vipers were really the big thing that Solo has been missing in these massive pushes. We see a couple Widowman shots going off, but they are not going to forget the connections that they need.
Yeah, Solo playing a battle of attrition here, and it feels like he is finally starting to break on through. The Ling's going to be putting most of the damage down on that PF as the top base is taken out, so they're going to be trading a base for a base, but that does knock the Terran down to 4 mining bases here, whereas the Zerg has his entire half of the map.
Yeah, exactly. Solar's hatchery that went down wasn't even mining, mate. Meanwhile, GuMiho loses his most crucial mining base. At least he is expanding behind this. He's trying to take top right, but Solar is repositioning his army to deal with that. Oh.
Yeah, so let's split off on both sides here. We see 16 SCBs going down in total as that PF gets taken out, so that's another little thing there. I don't believe GuMiho is really able to take out any drones, but here we go. Massive attack coming down on the new mining base. The Bailey's going to be able to get on top of these ghosts over here.
Ooh, the ghosts are going to be going down. The base as well. Only a handful of ghosts really managed to survive here, and Solar is being forced back. GuMiho, he's going to be going for a push.
Yeah, I think GuMiho's just got to send it now. He has to get some counter damage. He's taking so much damage, losing both mining PFs. As the fifth, the main going to be flying down to take that new fifth now, but he cannot lose that again, and he doesn't really have a bank of orbitals.
He really does not, and it looks like he moves out just to clear out creep. He doesn't go for a push. Oh, we do have a harassing lurker here on the left-hand side as well, forcing a reaction and distracting GuMiho.
Yeah, great move there, but GuMiho going to be able to take the fight up to the north here. Ghost's not able to get on top of the lurkers just yet, so they will continue to be a bit of a nuisance, a bit of a thorn in at GuMiho's side, but oh, that tank is not in range. What a pain.
Unfortunately, not quite in range, but it is able to reposition. Speaking of, you see the lurkers on the right-hand side also repositioning Solar. He wants to try and push up this ramp and break the last bastion here for GuMiho, the last real mining base that he's trying to hold on to.
Yeah, and here we go. He will be diving on in. The Bailey's going to be getting on top of all of the bio. The lurkers edge on forward to take out the siege tank here, and GuMiho just getting penned back against the wall here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We do see a couple of snipes coming in, though. The Ghost trading quite well overall. We don't really have that much Ling Bane either. I don't think Solar can really keep pushing, and yeah, he is forced back.
Yeah, good trades for the Ghost. As that Ghost number does get a little bit higher, it becomes a bit easier to start to engage with these lurkers.
Yeah, it does. And now Solar, he has to kind of respect GuMiho's position here. He's going to be able to establish this base. Solar is going to be expanding over towards the left-hand side, but Liberators do take out a mineral line.
Ooh. Yeah, the multitask from GuMiho is just fantastic. It's clearly such a big strength for him.
Speaking of multitasking, we have a Nidus and no reaction. No, he doesn't see.
Oh, he does not see. There we go. There is going to be a reaction now. The lurkers start to pour on in, but not really enough ghosts here to deal with it. The snipes are getting cancelled by those lurker spines. GuMiho does get back in position, but with that, it's going to open up attack on the PF on the right-hand side if Solar does want to go for it. But no, it looks like he's just buying himself some time, some space to, you know, just reacclimatize himself, get everything ready for the next attack.
Yeah, I mean, Solar's in a really rough position right now because he doesn't have a bank. He has a gas bank, a massive gas bank, but where are those minerals? Because of all the Liberator harass, because of all of the drones that have been dying, he just can't really remax as quickly.
It's a light bank.
Yeah, I see. I learned it from you, Solar. I learned it from you. And I worry here because I feel like GuMiho's army is getting more and more refined. Like, look how many ghosts he has. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, Gumi definitely getting towards where he wants to be here. As long as he can keep that map vision, keep an eye on everything that Solar's trying to do, he should have a pretty good chance to keep these 5 bases safe. And from here, pretty much all he has to do is keep denying these edge bases from Solar, not let him mine out the minerals that he's going to need later, and try to get a 6th eventually. But there's no huge rush.
Yeah, but you know what? We do see that GuMiho's out of position. The Banelings are rolling on forward. The Ghosts are going to be able to take the brunt of the Banelings.
Yeah, quite a few Ghosts going down. We do see this base going down to the left here as well. So that's a bit of a pain for GuMiho, but a lot of the army for Solar goes down. The momentum going to be swinging hard in the other direction here. So GuMiho might be able to set up a push on these 2 bases in the bottom.
He may be able to. There's not a lot of creep here on this side of the map. We do have a couple of infestors. Solar is rebuilding his Ling Bane army that he did just lose. Trying to engage here probably isn't the wisest choice, but we do have a flanking infestor for the fungal.
Yeah, looks like he might be trying to set that up, but Solar just crashing left and right, crashing like waves on GuMiho's position, and even the cheeky Nidus underneath the orbital to stop that from landing. He is just strangling GuMiho out here, denies all the mining on the right-hand side as well with that little Ling run by, and ooh, it's a scouting infestor now.
He is. He's waiting for his moment. He's got options.
Oh, the ghosts!
Oh, the ghosts!
He doesn't have Neural, does he?
Let's have a look here. No neural, unfortunately, so he can't neural the ghost. His only option is for that fungal, as the army is repositioning here over towards the right-hand side. Solar also looking for an angle of attack.
Yeah, good anticipation from GuMiho. Going to be moving over to the side here. Looks like that Infestor has been forgotten, at least for the moment here. But GuMiho just going to be edging forward with those ghosts, trying to clear out a little bit of creep here. And I think this should be a reasonably good fight for him. It's not the best angle for Solo to attack through.
Yeah, I'm not really too convinced here. A lot of Lingbane goes down. A very efficient fight for GuMiho.
Yeah, that was not quite it there from Solar, but he's just continuing to make Lingbane Hydra. We're not going to see any more commitment to the Lurkers just because the ghost numbers are getting so high, but GuMiho, he smells blood. He is charging straight on through, and those Banes get absolutely crushed. The Bio stands its ground and fights.
Yeah, at the same time, we have a Ling run by, but we have plenty at home to defend. It's going to get a little bit of damage, but nowhere near enough because we see two hatcheries under threat for Solar. He does reinforce here with his Lurkers, but he loses a base.
Yeah, it is all kicking off, but there are so few Banelings here. Solar's going to have some fantastic connections if he wants to take this fight, but GuMiho, he is happy just to take that base to the right-hand side first and buy himself a little bit of room here. Does want to clean up the Nidus attack, but no mercy from Solar. He charges straight on through.
Yeah, he's charging on forward here. No Vipers available. Banelings rolling on forward as well, but the splits are too damn good.
Yeah, this little corner here, not a good spot for Solar to attack, and he's getting punished time and time again. We do have a cheeky little Ling Burrow here, so that's a really great move from Solar. If Gimme doesn't notice this, as soon as he leaves, those are just going to unburrow and take out all these mules.
Yeah, but you know what? Mate, look at the worker count. 21 SCVs just went down. GuMiho has been losing base after base, even though he's been trading oh so efficiently. He doesn't have an economy here to keep going to rebuild what he is losing.
Yeah, that's right. The constant pressure of Solar finally getting to him, despite having a really nice army here. He's just not able to use it because Solar's just pulling him this way and that way, forcing him to react. And here we go. We do have the mass Lurker coming on in, and with all those Banelings able to push him back, it's going to be really hard to get those snipes on top.
Oh, it is going to be so hard here. The hatchery is going to be going down on the left-hand side, but GuMiho needs more than that. Solar, he's desperately trying to long-distance mine as well. His own economy isn't too amazing, but GuMiho is down to 12 SCVs.
Yeah, there we go. Those Lings unburrow. Take out the remaining economy of GuMiho. The Baneling's going to be rolling on forward here. And, ooh.
Where are they going? What are you doing?
They're okay. They're okay.
And here we go. The flanking infestors were coming in for the bar. Oh, the scan barely misses them.
Yeah, the scan misses them by nothing there. And they are sharking for these ghosts. If they get a fungal on these ghosts will all be taken out by Banelings. And that will be the end of it.
It really will. We're waiting for that moment. At the same time, we have Lings borrowed all over the place. The Lurker, is going to be harassing the last mine base. The fungal! It connects!
The fungal from downtown. Every single ghost goes down. And with that, there is no answer for these Lurkers anymore.
There is no answer. It looks like Solar has finally been able to overwhelm GuMiho. Things were looking quite good for him. Things were looking a little bit wasteful for Solar, but he was able to just punish these bases, deny these bases overall, and keep the economy of GuMiho non-existent.
Yeah, and with that, GuMiho drops beneath 50 supply, and it looks like Solar is going to be your ESL champion.
GG, well played. Solar does it. He pulls off the reverse sweep, and he wins the series 3-2 for ESL Open Cup Americas 169. Nice. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations to Solar, because that was a rough series, mate. Not gonna lie. Like, to start off 2-0 against Mech, like, I don't know how his brain wasn't broken by that. Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
The Iron Mantle.
Oh my god. But yeah, very well played to GuMiho as well. It's one of those things where he did so well for himself despite being teamless. I know he has the Psystorm clan tag in game, but he was let go, if you recall, and he doesn't have a team at the moment. Despite that, he took down Max Pax. He almost 3-0'd Solar as well. He's still a very terrifying player, and yeah, he's doing really well for himself. Really well for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. But congratulations to Solar. Another Zerg champion.
you talking
Back
about?
to normalcy.
What are you saying right now? Oh my god.
I'm saying I officially declare the month of Terran domination
I
over.
think the month of Terran domination lasted more than a month, babe. But oh my god. Yeah, congratulations to Solar in the end. And shout out to all the other players that did compete today as well. MaxPax had a good run. Hero Marine, Bjorn, Wayne, nice. Eric, I don't know if you were watching. Did you see this morning? Mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F stands for fear. He doesn't mind playing dark. He's not afraid of the
He's
dark.
not afraid of the dark, puppy. He's not afraid. He took down dark. He stopped the ZvT finals. Copium. Oh my god. But yeah. Shout out to all the players that did compete tonight. They all did well for themselves. And thank you so much, Asher, for joining me towards the end. Thank you.
I had to join for the GuMi. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And if people want some more AsherBro action, where can they find you, puppy? Where can they find you?
Twitch TV/AsherBro. Where can they find someone who actually streams like?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week, and I will be streaming later on in the day, later on in the evening.
Let's go.
Ooh, and yeah, we're gonna be laddering because we didn't ladder yesterday. We were just playing Diablo. So some StarCraft for today, some StarCraft, maybe some Diablo later, maybe. So if you're interested, you can follow me there. Otherwise, all things Ducklings, CranKy Ducklings on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all over the place. CranKy Ducklings. If you want to keep up with our broadcasts. This is the only cast we have for today. We can rest. We can die, Papi, forever. We can. Oh my god. We're done for today. We also don't have a cast tomorrow. We're gonna have our first day off from casting in years, Papi.
Let's go.
In a long time. So we're gonna have a day off, and yeah, I hope everyone is able to enjoy StarCraft elsewhere. You know, there's plenty more StarCraft going on all these other channels. So you won't be missing out on too much. We're just going to need a break before the DreamHack qualifiers, which are this weekend.
Yeah, so big weekend ahead. Could be some really good stuff. It'll be really exciting to see, especially I'm excited to see the Asian region duke it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Asian region and the Americas as well. I'm really curious as to how the Latin Americans are going to perform, how all the Oceanic, Southeast Asian, Chinese players are going to perform against each other as well. It's going to be, yeah, really exciting to see kind of these otherwise separated regions kind of mix in amongst each other and interact. And it's going to be a good time.
For sure.
Well, with that, you can also support us on Patreon as well if you wish. Of course, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. We do have a Patreon to set up and support our events, our bi-weekly tournaments. We do host 3 of them every 2 weeks. So if you want to be a part of supporting StarCraft, of the StarCraft community and helping out the scene, then check out our Patreon. It is set up to turn them from bi-weeklies into weeklies, and then maybe pay out top 4 and top 8 if we get enough support on Patreon. So definitely be a part of that. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
Zergimbo. What?
Wait. The Terran apologist himself. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys on Friday for some more StarCraft.
Bye-bye.